Hello friends. Welcome to Crazy Halal Food. The history of tea. Tea is so much a part of everyday life in Britain that we might never stop to think about how a unique plant from faraway China became the nation's favorite drink. But the history of tea is fascinating, and in this section we can follow its story from the earliest times in Imperial China right up to its present place at the heart of British life. Tea has been a staple of British culture for more than 350 years, and is frequently considered to be a uniquely British beverage. But in reality, tea has a much longer history. The history of tea is surrounded by many myths. The Chinese legend of Shen Nung, the emperor and well-known herbalist, who was boiling his drinking water when leaves from a nearby tea shrub drifted into the pot, is maybe the most well-known. When he tried the resulting concoction, tea as we know it today was born. Tea's history is rooted in China. According to mythology, some leaves from the tree blew into the river in 2737 BC as the Chinese emperor Shen Nung was seated beneath a tree and his servant was boiling water for him. The renowned herbalist Shen Nung made the decision to try the infusion that his servant had unintentionally made. The tree, a Camellia sinensis, gave rise to the beverage we now know as tea. It is impossible to determine whether this story is true or not. But before it was even known in the West, tea drinking undoubtedly became widespread in China. Although teapots from the Han Dynasty, 206 BC to 20 AD, have been discovered in tombs, it wasn't until the Tang Dynasty, 618–906 AD, that tea truly established itself as China's national beverage. The Ching, also known as the Tea Classic, was the first book written just about tea and was published in the late 8th century by a writer by the name of Lu. Soon after, Japanese Buddhist monks who had been to China for academic purposes brought tea for the first time to Japan. Drinking tea has become a vital part of Japanese culture, as seen in the development of the tea ceremony, which may be rooted in the rituals described in the Ching. Europe was somewhat behind at this point in tea history. The first brief references to tea as a beverage among Europeans date from the second half of the 16th century. These are primarily from Portuguese traders and missionaries who lived in the East. The Portuguese were not the first to ship back tea as a commercial import, even if some of these people may have brought samples of tea back to their home nations. This was carried out by the Dutch, who started to impede Portuguese trade routes in the East in the final years of the 16th century. They had established a trading presence on the island of Java by the turn of the century, and it was through Java that the first shipment of tea from China to Holland was made in 1606. The Dutch quickly adopted tea as a fashionable beverage, and it later spread to other nations in continental Western Europe. However, due to its exorbitant cost, tea remained a beverage reserved for the affluent. However, as the tea auction fell out of favor, a crucial component of contemporary tea consumption took off: the tea bag. Tea bags were created in America at the beginning of the 20th century, but British sales didn't truly take off until the 1970s. Many tea drinkers nowadays find it difficult to picture living without them. Because of the British people's love of tea, even after the fall of the empire, British businesses continue to play a significant part in the global tea trade, and British brands continue to rule the global market. There will always be a place for a decent cup of tea in the center of British life, since current scientific study suggests that drinking tea may have immediate health benefits. That's all for now. For more interesting videos, please subscribe to our channel and press bell button for latest video notifications.